years old.
Yeah, dude, that's shit. I went to the Sistine Chapel, and it's so funny. It might be like this there too. Like they want it, like since it's in a religious place, like it's
They want you to be quiet.
You're supposed to be very quiet,
Yeah.
respectful, have no phones. And even when I was there in like 2010, people were obviously like you were just stuff like sardines, and everybody's like got their fucking phones out.
Well, you weren't supposed to take pictures.
No,
Look good.
they didn't want you to do that.
They're like, we don't take pictures.
There were places where they didn't want you to take pictures, but not there.
Yeah. Well, the funniest fucking thing of this, there's like one guy whose job, he was like sitting high up, like in the far corner, and he was like the attendant or whatever.
Sniping dudes.
Dude, every 5 minutes he'd go, shh. Like he was the fucking professional shusher.
Oh, there were people shushing.
Fuck.
Yeah, I know.
That's so funny.
Is there a way to tighten this part
So
up?
Italian.
They need that guy from Encino Man to go, shush!
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Somebody asked me the other day at the bar, they're like, if I were to say, wheeze the juice, what would you say to me?
Pauly Shore.
Encino Man? And
Yeah.
they're like, yes! And like, I won them a great argument. They thought that nobody would know like what that meant. I'm like, yeah.
The juice.
I mean, even if I never saw that movie, I would still know it came from Pauly Shore.
Went to the Sistine Chapel, Sam?
Yeah, dude.
Thanks for one up.
That'd be real quiet.
I thought Florence was cool.
Hey, let's do the pod tonight like we're there.
Your whole trip was ruined.
Oh, after listening to 2 podcasts without being there,
Oh.
can I offer a little bit of constructive criticism?
Oh,
Absolutely.
shit.
When you're like everybody throws it around, it's somebody's turn to talk. If somebody makes fun of you or says something about you or makes a little snide remark while you're giving your take, never stop to like respond to that take because it'll go smoother and it'll be
Just
funny.
no sell it.
Yeah, just no sell it completely.
Okay.
Like you no sold all the hot takes we had on you while you were gone.
Oh, I only yes. Well, yes, exactly.
Yeah. I only had one
I don't think I had any.
on Bill. That was it.
There was one that I was watching live because I was drunker than shit in the hotel room, and I was like, I was texting. I forgot I was texting from Aaron's phone, and I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus, Zach.
Oh yeah, I thought it was Aaron. I was like, oh God, what did I say?
Why would you say? I have no idea what it was. But yeah, like,
Why did you look at me that whole time with that advice?
no, I was giving it around to everybody. For example, like a month ago when you were talking as Lucha Chris, and I was like, I guess they say kayfabe is dead, and you were like, well, yeah, actually, kayfabe is dead. Just let the comment go because it'll go smoother. Like,
I don't remember saying that.
I know.
saying it.
Well, it's like you ever listen to like Howard Stern or something. It's like they never respond to each other. They
That's
just
true.
do their own thing. Just a little bit of constructive criticism.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Okay, so we're gonna do the G1. We're gonna do Roman and Daniel Bryan. We're gonna do the NXT Toronto prediction, and then we're gonna do SummerSlam prediction. Everybody good with that?
I'm good.
Everybody watch G1?
I didn't get this morning because I worked all morning.
Yeah.
So
I'll be sharing everything in the events when you guys are talking.
All right.
This morning, Juice and JY was really good.
God damn it.
dag nabbit. Yeah, and then I didn't get the last 2 matches. I was like, I wanted to watch all of them. You think yesterday was my first day off and 7 in a row.
Awesome.
Oh, I bet it was great.
Dope as fuck.
Sit over.
Yeah, I had sit. There it is.
It's Ubu.
Wow.
It is Ubu. Sit Ubu sit.
Because it's Ubu Productions.
Mm-hmm.
Is that? I didn't say that.
What show was that?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
said
You
Boo
go.
Boo. Yeah.
What show was that though?
Family Ties.
And
Well,
a bunch of
several
others,
others, yeah.
I don't remember Family Ties.
There was more.
There might have been one more.
You sit. Good dog.
There was a few. I didn't know it from Good Ties, but
Is LGC coming in after?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Tonight on the Man from Ringside podcast, we got your G1 recap, Roman versus Daniel Bryan, your NXT TakeOver predictions, your SummerSlam predictions, that and a whole bunch more tonight on the Man from Ringside podcast.
He still got it. Look at him. First take.
Ditch that 9 to 5. It's time to feel alive. Hello, Marks. Welcome to the Man from Ringside podcast. As always, well, not as always, for the first time in 3 weeks, I am your host, Bill Vagey, a.k.a. Pour some kayfabe on me.
Wow. All right.
In the name of love.
And to my right, we have Two Beers. Zach Pullman. What's going on, Two Beers?
Yeah, man. John Tenta on the streets, Tanahashi in the sheets.
And to his right, we have Jason Cornelius Bell. What's going on, JCB?
Allow us to bow our heads as we break down the latest chapter of the Man from Ringside podcast. Episode 118, Chapter 3, Verse 14 of the Good Smart Say It, hashtag Boo the Heels. It is all good, baby. Listen, share, subscribe, repeat. It's the new holy trinity of BFR. Shout out to my girl, Becky Balboa. I love you, babe. Shout out to my man, Chris, from the Third Rail Bar and Grill on Manchester for hosting the trivia night on Monday night. I had a good time.
And to his right, we have Lucha Chris.
That's fucking Lucha Chris. Hey, the music went off right for me, too.
I know. How's it going, Lucha
Catchphrase
Chris?
and everything. I'm doing great.
Are you excited?
I'm pretty excited.
What else is exciting?
Being live on social media is pretty exciting.
Where are we at?
YouTube and our Twitter. So YouTube, Band from Ringside Podcast.
Yes.
Twitter at BFR Pod. Of
Nice.
course, all of our own personal tags as well at BFR Bill, at BFR Zach with an H, at BFR JCB, and your favorite at BFR Lucha Chris.
That's my favorite.
Woo!
We are coming at you from the exquisite Shock City Studios in beautiful downtown St. Louis. We got Sam the Muller Mall turning the knob tonight.
Mr. Perfect's in the house.
And we got a bunch of stuff to get to. Like, it's a big wrestling weekend, and it's also my wife's birthday on Sunday, which is just perfect timing because that means I don't get to watch SummerSlam. I don't get to watch the G1 finale. Thanks, Aaron's parents. For whatever the fuck you did.
Wow.
Don't blame these other jokers. There's
Wow.
two people
But
to blame.
before we get too far into it, we got to thank that day one-ish sponsor, JJ Twigs. JJ Twigs has got that great South City, St. Louis style pizza right there on Southampton across, or I should say, like in between Chippewa and Gravois, basically. You guys got to go get there. They have the best pizza. They have the best atmosphere. You might find me, I've been out of town for a couple weeks. I don't know if you guys noticed this. Did anybody notice that I was out of town? You
I had no idea.
No. Okay, yeah. Well, JJ Twigs.
I didn't see anything different.
JJ Twigs, the restaurant, actually sent me a text the other day and said, "Hey, we missed you." Like it was the restaurant. It wasn't a single individual from the restaurant. It was the actual restaurant. But we're gonna go there. You gotta get some pizza. You can get beer specials, beer bucket specials on Cardinal nights. Go get yourself some appetizers. Go get yourself some pizza, especially the Super Mario, the Ciao Bella, the Southside Pride. Those are my three favorite. Personally, I think that banana peppers are the most underrated topping on a pizza that there could be.
Roasted garlic is fire, too.
Go get yourself some JJ Twigs on Southampton. And without further ado, let's get to that 3 counts. So what you got, JCB?
I'll let our residential New Japan guy to my left take the G1. So let's start with.
That's good because I was ill prepared for anything else.
I know that's 2 weeks in the saddle, baby. I don't know what's going on. Let's start with Roman Reigns.
2 weeks in the saddle.
Dare I say, attempted to get ran down on Monday night. Samoa Joe comes out to clear his good name. He's going to shut down Raw until his good name is cleared. Roman gets ran down. He then proceeds to go get Buddy Murphy and shakes him down to have him spill the beans for Eric Rowan. What the fuck? So here's my problem with this whole thing. Apparently, Vince has forgotten a timeline is what the story is. And now, instead of having a solid match on SummerSlam with arguably your top babyface in the company, you have some sort of weird gray area going on where now Buddy Murphy, great way to use Buddy Murphy, by the way. I haven't seen him in months, and now all of a sudden he's a fucking snitch. So you have him snitch out fucking Rowan to say that he at least drove the car and or had something to do with the scaffold falling on Roman Reigns. Now, that said, sorry, Buddy Murphy, but I guess either you're going to take this L and move along, or the rumor is that Buddy Murphy and Roman Reigns might be the SummerSlam match. Eric Rowan and Roman Reigns might be the SummerSlam match. I would like to think that Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns would be the SummerSlam match, but I don't think you already kind of fucked it up. Let's not fuck it up anymore.
They wouldn't waste Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns with
Not
no build.
Not here. If you want
That's a money match.
Yeah, you want to throw somebody else underneath the bus, you got these two other jokers. I guess here's my problem with this now that we've extended it. It's a bad storyline. I mean, granted, it's a recycled storyline. I'll give you a pass on that. It just looks bad. I don't buy into this. There's no investment into this. I don't care who went. I didn't care. When they said Eric Rowan, it was just kind of like, yeah, okay, right. You know, that does nothing.
I don't understand why that's a bad storyline, though. We always want them to put some thought into their stories, right?
Eric Rowan's not a good enough payoff. That does not.
It's a good enough payoff if it ends up being Daniel Bryan, though, right?
Then just have Daniel Bryan be the guy. Don't have Eric Rowan be the guy. If you're putting someone against the top guy of the company, Eric Rowan doesn't do it for me. Daniel Bryan does it for me. That makes him. Granted,
you remember they had Rikishi being the guy that.
Okay.
Ran over. It's not like Kevin Nash. It's not like Kevin Nash texted himself.
So
we're getting there.
To my point, Eric Rowan doesn't do it for me. It doesn't be like, oh shit, he's gonna get some get back at SummerSlam. Buddy Murphy could have been decent until he ratted fucking Eric Rowan out. Now he's a little snitch. I don't want to see him now get beat down at SummerSlam.
Too big.
Yeah, this whole build, whatever it is dumb, and I hate it. There's been some decent stuff. This is not it. We got the Samoa Joe coming out and saying, everybody's mad at me because they think that I did this to Roman Reigns whenever, nothing was ever said on TV about that. There's some minor stuff on social media, but it was super vague.
I thought they had a poll or some shit going on, and, the WWE universe chimed in and said, Samoa Joe did it. So,
yeah, but they don't make that clear at all to the television viewers. And then they have this other stupid skit where now Roman is getting attacked by a vehicle, but then whenever they cut to commercial and they come back, the vehicle's miraculously fine.
Yeah,
dude, this is fucking WCW 2000 all over again.
I'm not going to disagree with that. It's if you're going to do it, then just lean into it. Just lean into it. Fucking do it.
Just do it.
Go all the way.
Joe and Roman, Daniel and Roman.
I feel like they are leaning into it, though. Am I wrong? Am I missing this?
If anything that's positive from this whole thing, and not necessarily positive, but we've been talking about how all they're doing is just jumping straight into things and not giving us any lead in. Eric Rowan being kind of the stretch. So if it wasn't him and it was DB, they're putting it on Eric Rowan just to keep us going for another week until we get to the pay-per-view. And then they'll put it on.
Well, they started it 2 weeks before the pay-per-view. So, you mean to tell me you're going to give me a match like Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, which sounds great. I would love that. I would love a build, but you're going to give it to me 2 weeks beforehand, and then the next week, whenever they're supposed to shoot an angle, they don't even do the angle, and suddenly Daniel Bryan had this career-changing announcement that nobody's even talking about anymore. And, it's
True.
just, it's they basically, think that every WWE viewer has Alzheimer's.
Yeah, basically, I guess I give them a little bit of credit for actually trying to tell a story over multiple weeks because, we sit here and we do a podcast every week and we can get really tired with it, but a lot of people don't watch wrestling the same way that we watch wrestling or talk about wrestling the same way that we talk about wrestling. I think that Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan is a money feud. For WWE, it's definitely a money feud. I think that Roman Reigns, I know that Vince wants him to win every single time, but Vince has to have a little bit of patience and hopefully have Roman Reigns lose to Daniel Bryan, lose to Eric Rowan, lose to Daniel Bryan, whatever the fuck he has to do, just to have Roman Reigns end up getting this comeuppance, which is what wrestling is all about. Wrestling's always been about watching the babyface eventually get the bad guy, eventually beat the bad guy. It's all about the heel should all heels should be champions ultimately until the babyface beats him, and then they should lose it again. Well, we'll get to that later with Kofi. But I've been okay with this build. Honestly, I was out of town for a couple weeks, so I probably would have
missed
off.
it. Yeah, I was going to say you just saw it from afar. That's what it is.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it. I just read some recaps. But I thought the only thing that was dumb about it to me was how when Roman, actually, no, there was two things that were really terrible about it. One of them being that Buddy Murphy, who hasn't been on TV, the first time you put him on TV, he becomes a snitch, like Jason said.
Yeah, it's super annoying.
It's super annoying. I mean, if we get a Roman Buddy Murphy match out of it, like the old way of thinking is that Buddy Murphy's going to get some rub out of being in the ring with Roman Reigns. But that's not true if he's just going to lose and never come back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he gets some offense in and he really pushes it to the limit, and then Reigns spears him for the pinfall, that's great.
Or a DQ with Daniel.
Instead, he just beat him up in the back and he squealed over a nothing storyline.
There's no other way to have a Roman Reigns match because, wait, he's clear. Like, he has no more cancer, right?
No more. He's out of remission.
Okay, so I can say this. The dude's only got 2 moves. And both of them suck. He's got the fucking spear, and he's got the fucking Superman punch. And it's called the Superman punch! It's infuriating.
He's got the drive-by drop kick.
Well, and the funny thing is,
Samoan drop.
Jesus Christ.
He's got the multiple clotheslines in the corner.
He's the man of 1,004 moves, Roman Reigns.
Well, and you saying that it was...
I just don't like them burying Buddy Murphy. There's so much better way.
I don't like it either.
It's so much better way of bringing Buddy Murphy into the fold. But... Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan is a money feud, so I just talked myself out of what I was trying to say.
Yeah, see,
fuck this shit. Fuck this shit.
See, that's what
I'm done with it. I'm done with it.
If you want to extend it, and LC, jump in on this, by all means. If you want to extend it, that's fine. They don't even have to have a match at SummerSlam, as far as I'm concerned. That's fine too, because I'm sure that we're going to have some kickoff show matches. It's already 10 matches announced, so you're going to have a kickoff show match, I'm sure, at least 2. That's 12 matches, man. I mean, I'm actually good without even seeing a Roman Reigns match at this point, because he should beat Rowan. He will definitely beat Buddy Murphy.
I'll say it.
I don't want to
strange. It is strange that we're going to a SummerSlam without a booked Daniel Bryan or Roman Reigns match.
Yep, and I feel like that shows. Weird. I feel like that shows the chaos behind the scenes when you have like your legit top guy of the company supposedly, and arguably your hottest star, because Seth's not that hot right now, but people love DB.
The opposite.
And they love him, and they also hate him. Like, he's got the heat.
He's got the good hate.
General public, and then he's got the love from the smart.
I think there's a little bit of malaise with Daniel Bryan. I wouldn't say he's cooled off. But he's like, people still like him better than like Rollins.
They want him more than Seth,
or Styles even. That's what I would say.
Can we just pause for 1 sec?
No, I'm about to say some of my best stuff.
I was going to say I've been trying to chime in and nobody can hear me.
I can hear you. They can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think.
Actually, I sent a text to Sam.
Oh, no, you didn't.
And I said, do not turn worries. Like,
that's total bullshit.
No,
I mean, but
say that's hurt.
I can't hear what you're saying.
read my hands. Fucking prick.
No,
speak easy Deutsch.
I was gonna say I still can't understand.
I'm not speaking German enough for this guy.
Mm-mm.
Check. Check. Ooh, now I can hear me now. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Yeah,
Are you really trying to chime in?
A little bit.
Oh,
yeah, that's why.
No, I kind of figured because I couldn't hear me much either, so I wasn't sure if you guys were hearing me or not.
That's why I threw it to you just to make sure.
I was hoping somebody would because I wasn't sure if it was me or not.
I mean,
sorry, buddy.
Hey, like I said, 2 weeks in the driver's seat. I know what the fuck's going on.
Hell yeah. That's why we never noticed he wasn't here.
I would like.
That's what I would say. No, I would say. It's super annoying.
Super annoying.
Super.
I thought you were actually saying that it was super annoying.
Damn, Zach.
I say you ain't gotta beat it down, dog. We get it.
Technical
Shit.
difficulties.
We
happen,
gotta
man.
move on.
It's super annoying.
Let's say just let it alone, man. Shit, we gonna
Check,
move on.
check. Yeah, it's kind of like popping in and out, but I mean, headphones wise, I don't care as long as audio is good.
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. That's fine with me.
I couldn't hear you in my headphones.
That's kind of what I
I could
thought.
hear you, but I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's
Turn
why,
my headphones up.
That's why I wanted to throw it to him to just see if it was just
Turn
me.
them shits up.
All right.
Dave Chappelle. R.I.P.
You ready?
Yep.
Remember what you were saying?
No. Where did we end off at?
So you were gonna say they wanted more than Seth.
They like him more than Seth.
They like him more than
Right.
Seth. Okay, so yeah, if you want to hop in there. And,
All right.
So Daniel Bryan and
I mean, they like him more than Seth Rollins at this point. I mean, even though he's not even on TV as much, I still want to see more Daniel Bryan than I want to see Seth Rollins at this point.
Seth, well, I'll save it. Never mind.
say it.
No, Seth is having an issue of.
I feel like
Poor-
Seth's got some go away heat.
It's kind of like that, but it's kind of like poor booking as well. I think this Daniel Bryan is. I think this is starting just to be a. It could be good, but the timing is bad. So I just think we're all used to having
That Seth Rollins
Story.
promo after he got his ass beat.
Where he's
by Brock
whispering?
Lesnar the
Dude,
other
that was
night.
fucking terrible.
So bad. Like,
You couple
That's-
that with some terrible social media like shit. Like I am not like I was like a big like I'm like, oh, Seth Rollins is a super worker. This dude would do amazing.
he is a
everywhere
super
else.
worker.
No,
And that's all he's got.
Now
right
I'm just like, fuck Seth Rollins.
Well,
Yeah.
I always used to say that, like, he was a great heel, but he'd be a better babyface. He'd be a better white meat babyface. And then they made him a white meat babyface, and they
That
just
shit has
fucking
not
ruined him.
worked.
It has not worked. So I was wrong a long time ago, or, I mean, since this podcast has been going, but I was wrong. Like, he's not a great white meat babyface. He
At all.
can't do it.
Can we all just agree that the wrong guy got cancer?
Oh,
Holy shit. Oh, my God. Let's go to our 2 counts.
Jason's face.
oh my God, I'm sweating under the mask right now.
Zach.
They're laughing.
As I say, even fucking Sam is shaking his head, man. You know you did dirty when Sam
Zach,
shakes his
Oh,
head.
it's on me now. Okay.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
laughing with
Let's
nervousness.
Two guns G1. So we got G1. Let's bounce back, baby.
Let's bounce back. Here we go. Here we go.
That's the thing, is like, when you're a really good comedian, you just totally kill the crowd, and then you got to bring it back on your own. It's all you.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
So anyway, G1 has been awesome. Like, I don't know if you guys are like me, but I've had a really hard time keeping up. Right. So,
shit.
and I've been home the whole time. I can't imagine what it's like for Bill right now. But
I just missed a whole bunch of stuff, but like it's fun coming back and getting back into it. But there was a bunch of matches that I missed.
yeah, so we've had 4 shows since the last time we aired. But here's the main takeaways, right? So the main takeaway is we have Okada and Ibushi facing off, and these guys are going to basically face off for the A block. So if Okada takes Ibushi to a draw, he wins it, and that's kind of lame. But
You know that ain't happening.
yeah, and if
I should say that.
if Ibushi wins, he will match Okada's points because of the tiebreaker situation. They would both be at 14, and since Ibushi beat Okada, who's also at 14, Ibushi would win. And even though this very last week, I came out and I said I think Okada's taking it all, I can see them giving it to Ibushi because that would be a great upset. And also, if he beats Okada, he's already set up for
think that was everybody's call before it started, though, right? Like,
before it started.
I think all three of us said Ibushi.
I think so too. Yeah, but since Okada came out so strong and undefeated, like I came out last week and said I think Okada's taken it. It could go either way, and that's what's great. It's we have this A block which was like totally stacked, and it could go either way, and it's very, very exciting.
They really booked themselves into a fun thing in the B block. Though.
Oh, and B block's open, guys.
Yeah.
We thought John Moxley was running away with it, and he has had strategic losses against Yano. Yano got him via Kano.
Hey, I called that shit.
Fuck yeah.
I might have been in Europe, man, but I called that shit. I
Dog
called that shit at the beginning of the tournament.
Dog on Twitter said fuck Yano.
Thank you. Yes.
Fuck Yano.
Hashtag fuck Yano.
If you guys don't like Yano, you guys don't like wrestling. That is fun. He's fun wrestling.
Yano is pure.
Thank you. Man, he's wrestled like a total of 20 minutes in like 8 matches. It's fun.
I loved his Ishii match. It was
every single one's been fun.
Yeah, Ishii he actually like came up and like he was like going like strong style with him because Yano has an MMA record of undefeated. Like that dude has fought MMA and he's undefeated.
I'm getting a Yano shirt.
Do it.
Dude, you better
not.
I want a Yano DVD.
I just want a Yano shirt of him going like this.
God, I hate that. I'm so choking shit out of it, man. Fuck, cheap bastard.
So we're super exciting. B Block could go any direction. I still think that it might be Moxley, but I think that Jay White or Naito could pull it out. Naito seems to he's still super popular, but he's kind of cooled off. He's been really like rugged, and he had a great match with Shingo Takagi that did not show any signs of him slowing down, but he's had. His body's beat up, guys. Like this guy, and if it's Ibushi and Naito in the finals,
oh god,
I mean Jesus fucking Christ! Like I told you guys last time that I did not want to see another Ibushi Naito match, let alone if it's for the G1 final.
You know what's funny is that like when the G1 was getting ready to start, there were a lot of people that were worried that there was going to be some drop off because they lost some star power from last year and shit like that. But this G1, like every G1 that I've watched, which is a total of 3.
Yeah, I was going to say all of 3.
They're awesome, though. I mean, it's a completely different style of storytelling than what you might be used to here in the USA. And if you're still out there and you're still on the fence, I know I say this every time we talk about the G1, or I know I say this every time we talk about NJPW, but if you're listening to this and you're still on the fence about watching New Japan, get off that fence, man. You have to watch it. It's the best. It's the best. Like the G1, I've called it a couple weeks here. It is the real WrestleMania. And it's awesome.
It's cool because even guys that you think should like run the tables, like I was talking with Jason last week about being upset that Will Ospreay was not as great as he was. Like Zack Sabre Jr. has had a really rough G1. Mm-hmm. This dude's one of the best technical wrestlers in the world, probably the best technical wrestler in the world, even though he looks like the heavyweight champion of Auschwitz. But like,
oh my god,
this guy like is amazing.
You're on fire tonight.
He's only got 6 points. Like, but that's a great story. It's a great story.
I'm not sure how I'm gonna come back with that, but I'll kind of finish it up.
That one built up for a while.
About 3 days.
B Block is open season. I'm going to totally switch my pick from just last week, and I'm going to jump on the Jay White bandwagon. I think he is unfortunately going to beat Naito and then have others lose. Moxley, John Moxley being one of them.
I don't think Moxley's going to get it.
I think he'll lose to Juice. I think Shingo and Goto will have another knockdown, drag-out match. Shingo would win that, and Jay White, per his gimmick, per his booking, whatever you want to call it, Jay White starts 0-3. He runs 6 straight, wins the B Block. A Block, it's a coin flip. I would love to see a different matchup, but I think it's going to be Ibushi versus Jay White. I'm gonna stick to that. I don't want to see Okada and Jay White again. I want to see Ibushi and Jay White.
So I asked JCB when he came over to my place today. I was gone for 2 weeks and I was reading recaps, and I said, "What were the matches that I should have watched when I was gone?" like since I've been gone. Like, what should I go back and watch? And he like named a couple, and he was like, I don't know, man. And it's like that's the thing with the G1. It's like it's almost too much of a good thing. Like
It really
there's
is.
so many good matches. I even like the Bad Luck Fale matches for what they are.
Yeah.
Like I like it when the guy I like the Yano matches for what they are.
Tanahashi had a great match with Fale.
Or yesterday,
Yeah.
or whatever. Yes, it's tons of fun. And I mean, I don't want to sound like an advertisement for New Japan, but if you're a wrestling fan and you ain't watching it,
Dude, it gets
you
so
have
good.
to watch it.
You forget like the matches, like you can watch a 5-star match, like what you would consider a 5-star match. I'm not talking about like Dave Meltzer or whatever, but like what you consider a 5-star match one week, and you've already forgotten about that match because you've watched so many great matches in the meantime.
Juice Robinson, Jay White today was
And
like storytelling. I love Juice Robinson, and a little bit of a tangent, but I love Juice Robinson because it seems like every time I watch Juice Robinson, he's telling a story with an injury of his own. And like that's the way that you tell the story in the match. Like if he's got a weak leg, or he's got like last year I think he had a broken arm.
He broke his hand.
Yeah,
he broke his left hand, and that's what he does. What do they call it?
His big clothesline or whatever.
Left hand from God or
Left hand
whatever.
from God,
I was just gonna say,
but man, you like
no, go ahead.
Juice Robinson he's very good at telling a story in the ring. And I loved when him and Jay White were fighting today, and Jay White told everybody to fuck off, and he looked at Juice Robinson. He goes, "Just like in the dojo, right? Just like in the dojo."
Nice.
And Kevin Kelly's like, "Oh, they were in the dojo together."
Dude, Kevin Kelly deserves an MVP for telling these stories.
He deserves an Emmy.
He sets it up and then does a great job of just telling the story as it unfolds. Rocky Romero throws his just 2 cents
Who's a
in
worker, like a biased
right.
worker.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with that.
No, I like
great.
his old shtick.
And then Charles,
It just
Being
works.
Okada's best friend.
Yeah, Chris Charlton is like the statistician. He's he's stat guy in the back. It just
he's like, Naito and Shingo Takagi, like we're in the dojo 20 years ago.
Yeah,
you're just like, dude, like this match turned into like a 20-year feud just by your one comment.
right. Yeah, it's a great throwback. And another guy, I was just gonna say, if I remember it right, it's at B.E. McCooley. I think if I'm not mistaken, he writes for Daily DDT. I mean, breaks it down, star ratings, match recommendations for the whole tournament, night after night after night, and then he updates it. Go that route if you can't keep up.
And that's going to do it for our 2 count. All right, so 3 count's going to be our NXT TakeOver predictions because, guys, we got tons of predictions to get to. So, hey, Sam the Mauler Mall, are you ready to give some predictions? Are you ready to put in some music?
No.
Well, no, actually, I said it last week that he was going to be this week.
All right.
Nobody said it to him this week.
Can we have the hip hop beat for the NXT predictions and the rock beat for the SummerSlam predictions?
We like to please everyone.
I just sounded like my dad going to the 3 Dog Night concert. I was like, can we get the rock beat?
Rock and roll.
Do you have the rock beat?
Could I get some of that good old fashioned rock and roll?
Yes, the
Give me
official
some of
6th
that
member
good
of
old
BFR.
fashioned rock and roll.
The official 6th member of BFR over there. White guy Ted. White guy Ted.
Yeah, white guy
Killing
Ted
it.
go get Black Jason shot.
Oh. Rock and roll.
No, I wanted that for, this is fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I've never seen you wear a hat before, Sam. You look great. You look like a hunter.
Sam gonna come out this board and whoop your ass.
About to come out this board and whoop your ass.
Okay.
All right, JCB, what you got? Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai.
Just starting the rivalry.
This is for NXT TakeOver Toronto, by the way.
I got to go with Io on this one. That she just started her heel turn. Candice is probably best served as the underdog, like her hubby or whatever. So we'll go with Io on this one.
What you got, Zach?
I got the same, and I love both of these ladies a lot. I think they're both super talented, but I feel like Candice needs to chase. So give me Io.
I feel like Candice hasn't really had much of of anything too serious just yet. She's been there forever and hasn't really done a whole lot other than some little things here and there. I'm gonna go with Candice, even though I think Io Shirai will probably kill it. But I'm gonna go with Candice.
I am going to go with Io Shirai just because Lucha Chris went with Candice LeRae.
Wow.
Sam, you have Io Shirai or Candice LeRae?
Candice.
Look at you guys.
My
We
friend.
got Mia Yim versus Shayna Baszler. Or is it Maya Yim? I'm sorry.
It's me.
Yeah.
Mia Yim versus Shayna Baszler. You're up first, Sam.
Shayna.
He's going Shayna Baszler. What you got, Murray or Lucha Chris?
Wow.
Sorry, man.
I want to say Shayna Baszler, but I feel like it's getting to the point where they're going to start moving her around a little bit. So, and I don't want to go with Mia Yim. Nothing against Mia Yim.
It's one or the other, though.
I'm gonna go with Mia Yim. I'm gonna
All
be
right.
wrong as hell.
I'll go next. I always go against Shayna Baszler, and against my better judgment, I'm going to go with Shayna Baszler.
I do the same thing because I thought for the longest time it was time to take it off of her, even though she's really good. But I don't think the Blasian Baddie is where it's at. I think that they need something stronger. Although NXT has been like a little worrisome for me lately, and I feel like they could like do something crazy, like pull it off and like bring her up because Vince is like calling all these weird things.
Yeah,
But
39
I'm
years
still
old.
gonna go with Shayna Baszler.
No,
Yeah,
I get what you're
she's
saying.
no spring chicken, but like she is the best that the NXT women's
I
division
agree.
has to offer right now. Besides Candice LeRae, and she's not, and Io Shirai, and they're not in the picture right now.
Right.
So if it was one of them, I'd go with one of them, but I'm not going with Mia Yim, even though I like her a lot.
So you're going Baszler.
Baszler.
All right. JCB.
See, this is why I hate to send it in my pick early.
Why? I mean,
Because I always
just-
like it's like
it's integrity.
no, but it's like the league or whatever. I'll always mess with my fantasy team up until the 11th hour. I picked Medium to start. I'm gonna stick with that, obviously. I just think it's just time for Shane to move up. We've already kind of decimated the division. If you're Shayna Baszler, there's nothing else really left for her to do. Candice LeRae, maybe. I just think it's just that time. I've said this before. It's just really nothing else for her to prove at this point. So Mia Yim kind of deserves it. And at that point, now you got options again. You can go anywhere you want to go.
All right, Sam Mulla, you're up first. You got Velveteen Dream, Pete Dunne, and Roderick Strong. You have to go least to first. And this is the only one you got to do that's more than one guy or more than one gal. Velveteen Dream, Pete Dunne, Roderick Strong.
He's going least to most?
Least to most.
Okay.
Pete Dunne least. Velveteen Dream second in the middle. And Roderick Strong on the top.
I'm impressed you remembered all those. I'm going to go next. I'm going to go. You know what? I'm going to do exactly what Sam did. Pete Dunne last. Velveteen Dream second. Strong third. Or Strong is the most likely to win. I'm going to take Velveteen Dream is actually going to lose and go on to the main event. Lucha Chris.
You're having trouble with that name already.
Well,
It's been a while.
I only call you one thing.
I get it.
And it's not Lucha Chris.
It's an asshole. I'm gonna go with the exact same lineup, honestly. Because I agree. I think it's the same with Shayna Baszler. It's gonna be time to move Velveteen up soon. And Strong, I feel like, Undisputed Era is gonna take it all the way through. So
Two Bears Zach Bowling.
I'm gonna buck the trend here. Maybe it's fantasy booking because he's like top 5 favorite wrestlers for me. But Pete Dunne is gonna take it. I feel like they've been super hot on him. They had him carry that belt for so long. I feel like he could carry this one, and I feel like
he is very, very awesome.
he's so good.
All three of these guys are.
I feel like he's less likely to get called up than either of the other two to the main roster. So I'm gonna go with Pete Dunne, and then I'm gonna go with Velveteen Dream second and Roderick Strong third, even though I like all these guys a lot.
Street Profits versus the Undisputed Era. Sam, the Mauler Mall.
I'll go with the Undisputed Era.
Sam's going with Undisputed Era. I will go with the Street Profits. JCB.
Okay, so I'm going to jump back because you skipped the reigning, defending, undisputed Smark of the Covenant champion.
Oh, I didn't take your.
Yeah, so let me do it.
I forgot.
Hush up!
I forgot.
Hush up! The champ is speaking!
I forgot
Hush up!
the pick on the last one.
God damn it. Fucking believable. This is how we gonna do the champion's reign? I'm gonna have to fight for my respect the whole way? Fine, fuck it. I'll do it the hard way. Yeah.
Give it to him.
I thought it was
Least to worst. Velveteen Dream, least likely to win. Either he moves up or he goes for the winner of the NXT Championship. Middle, I'm going to pick Roderick Strong. I'm hedging my bets on this one. I wouldn't be surprised if he won, but I will go with everything that Two Beers Zach said on Pete Dunne. Perfect time to make him a champion. That way you can kind of hold Roderick Strong away because I still don't think that Roderick Strong and Adam Cole are done with each other. Undisputed era will implode. I just can't say when. Now, back to this one. Street Profits versus Undisputed Era. I'm picking make sure I'm saying this correctly. I'm still picking the Street Profits. Even though my heart of hearts says the Undisputed Era is probably going to win, I think the Street Profits can't lose their first title defense. I mean, they struggled this long. They really shouldn't lose.
Lucha Chris.
Man, I want to agree with Jason in the fact that I don't see Street Profits losing this soon, but they've been on Raw and SmackDown every week since they've had those titles, which to me makes me believe that Vince is going to steal them. And I hate to do it, but I think Undisputed Era is going to take them.
Two Beers Zach Bowman.
I'm in the same boat as Lucha Chris. I think they're getting called up early. And so I'm going with Undisputed Era.
All right. Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano, baby! I have no idea who to take here. I'm just going to go.
You know it's Adam Cole, baby, right?
What did I say?
Oh, did I fuck that up?
What did I say?
Nothing. Just keep going.
What did I say?
I think I fucked it up.
Did I say Johnny Gargano, baby?
No, you didn't say
Chris
Gargano.
Murray, baby!
No, just continue.
I'll take Adam Cole.
I'm going Johnny Gargano because I can't ever not.
Johnny Gargano. Lucha Chris is saying this since he didn't say my name again.
Yeah, everybody's real confused as to who you are. What you got, Sam?
Johnny Gargano.
JCB?
I gotta take Adam Cole. I just think that they'll win each other's specialty match. The third match will be an Iron Man 60-minute match. Adam Cole wins.
All right, and that's going to do it for our NXT TakeOver predictions. That's going to do it for our 3 counts. JCB, tell us about FMB Eatery.
I'm actually, if I can slide that over a little bit.
No, we only got about
There you go. Now, trust me, I speak quickly.
16 minutes for the Summerslam.
FMB Eatery, 3453 Southampton. Check out their website, fmbeatery.com. Breakfast menu, lunch menu, all that good stuff. Tell them the Banner for Inside Central.
This is banned from ringside.
Poor Sam.
All right,
Fuck this
now you
shit,
can
I'm
play the
leaving.
hip hop beats.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. SummerSlam predictions. We got Becky Lynch versus Natty for the WWE Raw Women's Champion. What you got, Lucha Chris?
Man, I really don't know. I hope that Natty doesn't take it, but I could see her doing it. I'm going to go with Natty.
Two Beer.
They don't ever let anybody get a win in their hometown, so not Natty.
He said,
Touche.
"Not bad."
Boy, he ain't even wrong about that. What you got, JCB?
Becky Lynch.
I mean, she's on that game cover 20.
Yeah. How you gonna take? How she gonna lose? Never mind.
They gave it that. So.
Never mind.
I'll take Becky Lynch. What do you got, Engineer Sam? Becky Lynch or Natty?
Or who?
Natty. Natalia.
Natty Light.
Becky Lynch.
All right, we got Bailey versus Ember Moon in the probably the most
Worst build of the
disappointing-
year.
Yeah, I know.
Good Lord, stop.
I'm gonna take Bailey. I guess I could see Sasha Banks coming down here and maybe ruin it, but I can't see Ember Moon taking the belt. What do you got? Two beer.
I got Bailey.
JCB.
Bailey.
Murray Ben.
Lucha Chris
has
Bailey.
Sorry.
Hey, it's fine. I don't know who that is.
What do you got, engineer?
Just to be different, I'll take Sailor Moon.
What is that? The combination of Sailor Jerry and fucking Ember Moon?
No, it's a Japanese video game.
All right, we got Drew Gulak versus Oni Lorcan for the 205 Live championship. And I'm going to share with you something that I saw on Twitter the other day. Somebody called Oni Lorcan the Bizarro Cesaro. I know it's pretty funny.
They're gonna start using that.
I'm still going to take Drew Gulak, but I love Oni Lorcan. I think that he's a hell of a worker, and he works stiff, and he takes bumps, and I love him. What you got, JCB?
No, I agree. Drew Gulak should have a nice little run with the cruiserweight title for a little bit, even though Oni Lorcan is amazing ham.
Two beers, Zach Pullman.
Yeah, see, lose Drew Gulak, and unfortunately, nobody cares. I don't even know why they put these matches on SummerSlam because nobody cares.
I care. Shit, I'm gonna watch.
I care.
Yeah,
You got
we
it,
do.
you're saying.
But the majority of people don't.
Fair.
I'll take Oni.
There you go. That's my man.
Sammy is either going to do extremely well or it's just going to be a hot dumpster
I mean,
fire.
sometimes he has best. Sometimes he has the best week. He really does.
He ain't lying.
What you got?
Me and my under the mask twin over here are going with the same one. I'm going with Oni Lorcan.
Okay, that's what's up. Shit.
All right, we got Trish Stratus, who looks great. Has not really been doing her parts on the microphone, I would say, but her versus Charlotte could have someday been a great WrestleMania match. Instead, we're getting a kind of, I don't know, a mild SummerSlam match, I guess. Trish Stratus versus Charlotte. Who you got, JCB?
Well, in Trish's defense, she apparently could not do this build because she was on vacation at a cottage. That said, doesn't matter.
That sucks. Bummer for her.
Yeah, cry my bleeding heart out. This has to be Charlotte. I don't care if you like her or you don't like her. This is Wrestling 101. Veterans put over current talent, period.
I'm going to ask you the same thing when Dolph Ziggler faces Goldberg. What do you say, Lucha Chris?
Charlotte's going to whoop her ass.
Okay. What do you say, Sam? Charlotte or Trish Stratus? Are you feeling some Stratusfaction?
Stratus?
Trish Stratus.
That's a fucking horrible name. You can't say it.
Stratus. Just try it. Stratus.
Stratus.
I'll
go with the other one.
The other one being Charlotte Flair.
What do you got, Timmy?
Oh,
I got Charlotte.
Yeah, I got Charlotte too. Okay. So we have another guy who's supposed to put over the younger guy. We have Bill versus Dolph Ziggler. I will take Bill. His last name's Goldberg. What do you got?
Can I go with like a no contest or something?
No.
So what if neither one of them wins?
It's Nick's.
I mean, if you go no contest and it ends up no contest, you can have 10 points.
No contest.
Okay.
I don't care at this point because I don't care about this.
Well,
match.
you just forfeited the point.
I'm losing anyway.
Not really. Like,
Oh, we
it's the
just
beginning of the year.
we just restarted.
Just okay. Give me Bill Goldberg.
No contest. Got it.
Either
What do you
way.
got, Two Beer?
Goldberg.
What do you got, JCB?
To answer your question, in this scenario, Goldberg should lose to Ziggler.
Of course he should. Of course he should.
It ain't happening.
It's ridiculous.
Right. It Goldberg wins.
So is this match.
So is this match.
Yeah, and you know why? Because the only reason people get interested in professional wrestling matches are because you wonder who will win because both sides are built up to a point where it's not obvious, and this is obvious, and that's why it sucks.
Yeah, it could only be saved. If Ziggler won, I would go crazy.
Oh yeah, it would be amazing.
Absolutely.
I remember
They
when
just
Brock
can't do that
Lesnar
right.
first came back, when Cena called him out, or Cena called Rock out, and Lesnar came out and F5'd him a couple times. And I said, here's the perfect way to use Lesnar. If you have Lesnar just run through everybody for 3 years, and I said, and you had Dolph Ziggler come out and beat him one day clean, then you'd make a guy forever.
Yeah.
That's the way that wrestling works. But Vince has lost sight of that because, much like a whole lot of baby boomers, they don't care what happens after they're dead.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's accurate.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's accurate. Bill Goldberg is climate change and Dolph Ziggler is the resistance.
Exactly.
And we're all going to die a horrible, fiery death.
This
Don't
Sunday.
have children. Hey, Sam, what you got?
Jesus Christ, man. I got shit to do.
I'll just go with Dolph Ziggler.
Yes.
Okay, we got AJ Styles versus Ricochet. This is a tough one for me. I think it'd be weird if they put it back on Ricochet. I could see him going either way, but I will go AJ Styles. JCB.
Agreed. I just did everything you just said.
Lucha Chris.
Can I just say this has been one of the most brutal podcasts we've had in a long time. You guys are on fire. I'm going to go with AJ Styles.
2 beer.
I would love to say Ricochet, but I feel like he's going to chase again.
Same.
So,
That makes me want to change it. What you got, Sam?
I'll go with AJ.
Everybody's going AJ.
I'll
So
just
we
say
got
this real quick. Ricochet probably deserves to be the champion at this point, but they kind of backed themselves in the corner with this whole OC.
Yep.
Everybody's got the champion belts bullshit.
Agreed.
I could see Brock winning though, and then moving AJ to Brock, just as a pure like fighter thing. Like AJ versus Brock sounds like more fun than Seth versus Brock at this
Absolutely.
point.
I guess.
I mean,
No,
but I see what
you've
you're
kind of been there, done
I
that.
see what you're saying though. Also, like totally. We have Finn Balor versus Bray the Fiend Wyatt. What you got, Lucha Chris?
Oh, it's going to be the Fiend. Bray Wyatt's winning forever, hopefully.
All right, what you got, Jason?
Yeah, this needs to definitely. Well, it's obviously going to be Bray Wyatt just because Finn's going to be out. But I'm
What
more
you got?
looking for just the wrestling portion of it. How does he look in the ring?
I don't think it's gonna last very long.
it better be Bray Wyatt.
Oh, it's got, dude.
I know Finn thinking that doesn't mean anything. It's WWE.
Yeah, but Bray Wyatt's Finn's supposed to be taking the break.
I know.
Hey, Sam, Bray Wyatt or Finn Balor?
Bray.
God, it's like he watches it. We have KO, Kevin Owens, my dude.
It
Against
might be for the
Shane.
last time.
Against Shane.
Might be for the last time.
If Kevin Owens loses, he's out of the company.
Dude, what you gonna do?
Just like
What are you gonna do Monday morning if he loses?
just like Shane was out of the company if he lost to Undertaker. Oh wait, no, he actually became general manager of Raw the next night.
Even though it was, if he won, he would be.
I'm taking KO. I'm taking KO.
Whatever, semantics.
What do you got? What do you got? Jason, what do you got?
Yeah, this has got to be KO. If they wouldn't have put the stip on it, maybe I might believe it.
What do
The
you got?
fucking Vince Russo stipulation is so fucking stupid. And then you got Kevin Owens, who's like legit awesome, coming out
Amazing.
looking like a fucking nerd last week because he's trying to convince Shane McMahon to put his career on the line too. Which, why would you do that?
KO did not look like a nerd when he did
It did not look good.
He did not look good.
I'm
I love
not a
KO.
fan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like he's gonna do it. Oh, yeah, let me quit.
It's like I just showed you my dick. You're supposed to show me your dick too. And like, no, dude, like
That's the way it works. I told you that at Christmas. Who you got?
I got KO.
Who you got, Murray? Lucha?
You gotta remember they're recycling a lot of shit from the past right now. I'm gonna say Shane McMahon because KO's just gonna come back anyway. Like he's gonna fight it, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Sam?
I'm going to say Shane.
Mm.
Sounds like all of your arguments are for reasons why KO should win, which is why he won.
Stay right
Oh.
Stay right there.
My
Stay right
fucking
there.
dude.
Stay right there. I'm going to make you answer this one without any of us going first
Oh, all right.
because this one's tough. Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton.
Oh man, I'll go with Kofi Kingston.
Interesting pick. I'll go next because I don't want to be tainted by any of you guys. I am going to go Randy Orton. Oof. JCB.
The only match that I give.
Hold on. Can I stop you for a second?
You just did.
I don't want to rub this in your face, but you rubbed Zack Sabre Jr. in my face for like a year. You said that there was no way that WWE, if they put the title on Kofi, was going to let him have it for any time at all. He rode it to SummerSlam, and now we're looking at a possible situation where he's going to take it past SummerSlam. Are you happy with that?
I said the same thing too.
Yeah, I think we all kind of agreed on that.
And
Not me.
I guess publicly, I guess I have to be Roman Reigns to your Samoa Joe, so you have to see this for your face. I said it last week. I said it the week before.
I wasn't there.
Before that.
I wasn't there.
So
I wasn't there.
was wrong about Kofi Kingston. I am pleasantly surprised with the booking. He's had good matches. They have put opponents in front of him to make him look better. Now, that said,
This is like the Rooney Rule.
fuck you. Kofi should win this match. I'm picking him to win this match. The only match that I'm looking forward to because it actually has build, it makes sense,
it
and
does.
you're going to have a good match.
You know what they
in the
did?
ring.
They kept these guys off of TV for the last 2 weeks, and they just did it with packages, and
Perfect.
that's perfect.
Perfect.
That's
They
great.
don't touch
Let
until
the mid-carders go for a while. And
Yeah.
just,
We already know what this story is. You got other stories to build. Let that shit
Usually
work.
they would have had them in a match, the main event, both times.
A 6-man tag.
Lucha Chris, who you got?
It's SummerSlam, and I feel like there's a lot of similarities to WrestleMania at SummerSlam as far as when it comes to their headlining matches. So Kofi should win as that feel-good moment. I'm going to take RKO, though.
No,
I want to see KO go.
There's got to be some bad guys to eventually
Zach
win. this
Bowman.
right.
Zach Bowman, you're going to be the tiebreaker here. We got 2 for Kofi and 2 for RKO.
Going Kofi.
That's a tough one, man,
Perfect.
because either one of them could win, and I wouldn't be
And then what is probably going to be the main event of the night, even though it's
That's
been a
bullshit.
very disappointing build.
bullshit.
A very disappointing build. I'm
If
sorry, I
Kofi
wasn't here for the
ends-
last 2
Or
weeks.
it'll be the first match of the night, like it was at WrestleMania.
I wasn't here for the last 2 weeks. I will
Brock
say
might
that
have a plane to
this
catch.
has been the most disappointing build
Hopefully he brings the belt
of a
with him
main
this
event
time.
that I've seen in some time.
really
But the whole card has been kind of
Can I give you my pick? so I can
RKO
beat?
versus Kofi. Yeah, go ahead. Give me your pick.
Brock.
All right, Sam, you're up next. Brock Lesnar or Seth Rollins?
Seth Rollins.
And he's gone.
Lucha Chris.
So, assuming Brock Lesnar remembers to bring the real belt to SummerSlam with him instead of a replica for the third time in a row, I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar because I love Brock Lesnar, and Seth Rollins just, if they put it on him, I don't know what the fuck they're going to do with him. So, Brock Lesnar.
JCB.
I don't even know why I'm silent about this. There shouldn't even be a thought process to it. He took Seth Rollins.
Okay.
There shouldn't even be a thought process to it. This should be Brock Lesnar. They have just completely made Seth into someone I don't even recognize. I didn't even watch Raw this week just because I did not want to watch Seth guarantee something that is clearly just not going to happen.
I mean,
he's not beating Brock at this point.
I love Seth Rollins so much.
Go ahead and do it.
And I still don't want Seth
Go ahead
Rollins.
and do it.
I don't want Seth Rollins to win this match. I think that he's been emasculated enough. I think that if he actually wins this match, it will seem unrealistic unless he starts doing some cheap shit like low blows again, which would like
He's hurt.
So-
He's going in hurt, quote, kayfabe style. So,
he's going.
Seth Rollins saying he's gonna slay the beast is like me looking at my wife and saying I'm gonna make you come. It ain't happening.
That's exactly
That's
how,
it.
That's exactly how I explained to my wife the other day when she called me and asked me like who do you think's gonna win. All right, everybody, and that's gonna do it.
Wait. You did who you got?
Oh, I took Lesnar.
Okay.
Lesnar.
All right.
All right,
I'm
everybody,
watching
that's
this.
our
Block the cock.
SummerSlam predictions.
I'm watching you this week.
Right here, Sam. Okay, I didn't really do the math this week, but we got some birthdays. We got Sable is old. Shayna Baszler is less old. Zach Gibson is young. Silas Young is younger than me, but still old. Alexa Bliss is young.
hot as fuck.
Tugboat is dead.
Question mark?
All right.
Wade Barrett was
I'll be playing
Wade
Tugboat.
Barrett was really cool. Hulk Hogan is a racist. Spike Dudley is 49. Bob Backlund is
Running for Congress.
70. Is it really?
I don't know. He's dead before.
Kofi Kingston is, let me do the math, 38. Johnny Gargano is 31? No, 32.
Yeah, he's moving.
Big Cass is working
Looking
the fry
shredded.
side.
Looking fucking good, dude.
Looking
Really?
He's living with
Yes.
DDP, man. He looks great.
Like ripped.
Like
Yeah,
better than you've
yeah.
ever seen him.
I went to a
Good for
Chili. I went to a Chili's in Philadelphia the other night. He was working the fry side.
definitely wasn't eating
Cedric
any of that
Alexander is
Oh, my
30.
God.
Paige is 26.
Oh
Everybody,
my God!
we know there's tons of podcasts to listen to, so we know we appreciate you guys listening to ours. For Sam the Muller Mall, for
Check.
Shock City Studios,
Check.
for JJ Twigs,
Check.
for F&B Eatery,
Check.
for Schlafly Beer,
Check.
for Vice,
Check.
for Lucha Chris,
Check.
for
Got it right.
Murray the Murray Man Murray,
Check.
for Two Beer Zach Pullman,
Check.
for Jason Cornelius Bell.
To meet you,
I am Bill Vagan. Everybody, boo the heels.
Have you guys watched that Fighting with My Family?